If there's a list of everything that I should not admit in front of a camera, this is probably at the top of that list. I think this might be the closest I've ever gotten to death and or multiple homicide. So for those of you who don't know, which is everybody because I've never mentioned this, I work at Megabox, which is this theater chain in South Korea. And a lot of people ask me how I got a job in South Korea. So basically all I did was I was born here. So I've been working at Megabox for the last like 2 weeks. The very first day, the manager comes to me and says, "Hey, I'm the manager here. We're gonna be taking you through the training." And then she gives me like, like 5 pamphlets. And then she just shows me the pamphlets, like this one is about cleaning, this one is about dangerous machines. And then she just goes, "All right, if you can just sign this document that says I've completed this 8-hour course on safety regulations." And I'm like, I feel like that was not 8 hours. And she's like, "Yeah, I mean, we probably should take you through the entire course and make sure that you actually understand everything so that nothing terrible happens. We're technically legally required to do that. But you just don't worry about it. It's fine." It's like, what? Okay. And I've been basically unemployed for like a month at this point. So I was like, okay, sure, fine. So I'll just sign whatever. You probably know what's going on. And that's actually not that uncommon. I've worked at a couple of different places in here, and none of them actually finished teaching me all the stuff that they need to teach me. And then a couple days go by, right? And basically my work is when people are getting into the theater, I check their tickets, send them where they need to go and everything. And then also when a movie is over, I go in there and I clean everything, make sure there's no popcorns on the seats. And one of the ways you clean it is by using this thing called huasan, which is basically hydrogen peroxide with a little bit of silver in it, apparently. And they have it in these bottles that you spray on this like paper towel looking things, and you're supposed to wipe the seats with it. Easy enough, right? But one of the things they taught me was whenever the bottle is empty, I need to refill it at the station. That looks shockingly similar to this other station with a completely different chemical, but don't worry about it, right? So I'm like, okay, this is where I get the huasan, this is where I get the other stuff, okay. And then the next day I come to work and I've completely forgotten about it. So by accident, I take the bottle with the huasan and notice that it's a little bit empty. So I go to the station to fill up the huasan, but I accidentally go to the other station, which is right next to where the huasan bottles are kept, by the way. So then I go and fill up the bottle, and then I slowly realize that it's for a different chemical called laksu, which is sodium hypochlorite, also known as bleach. Now, I don't know if any of you are chemists. If you are, please use your time wiser. But when hydrogen peroxide mixes with bleach, they can create this little thing called chlorine gas. Now, me, not having read the fucking pamphlet, did not know any of this. So for a brief moment, I was like, should I just use this? Bleach. I mean, hydrogen peroxide and bleach, like, aren't they just both cleaning products? But I was like, you know what? I should probably follow the product protocol. So I dumped it, and then I rinsed it with water, and then I filled it back up with huasan, and then I was good to go. So I just cleaned the theaters like I usually would, and then when it was time, I just left, not realizing what I did could have caused multiple deaths and permanent lung damage. That was yesterday. And it was only after I got home and I googled it out of curiosity that I realized, oh shit. You know how many people there are at Megabox and Coex? If I had released a significant amount of chlorine gas in the kitchen, which is where I mix them, right outside with no door or window in the way, were hundreds of people trying to watch this new Demon Slayer movie that just came out. Now, the reason why that didn't happen is apparently because huasan is not actually acidic, and also because a lot of these cleaning products were for household use. are very much diluted, and when they are, they generally don't produce that much chlorine gas when mixed. But I literally sniffed it. Like, I put the bleach in the bottle and I was like, oh, is this bleach? Like, cause I could kind of smell it. So I literally put my nose right up to the opening of the bottle and I sniffed it like deep. So even if there was like a little bit of chlorine gas right there, you know, could have been quite dangerous. So let this be the reminder for everybody. Please don't just ignore or skip through the safety regulations, especially if you have to use chemicals for cleaning. And if you skipped all those safety regulations and you have a brain, please don't put your nose right up to a mystery concoction and sniff it, because apparently it might end up being the last thing you ever smell. You know, a couple of interesting things about working at Megabox at Coex. If you guys don't know, so Coex is this massive mall in like right in the middle of Seoul, and there's a lot of foreigners, a lot of tourists. So when I was working at Zara at the same mall just a couple months ago, I had to talk to a lot of foreign customers. But I didn't really think that I'd be getting so many customers in Megabox, because why would you go to another country to watch a movie? You know what I mean? I mean, I understand if it's like, if it's a movie that will only come out in this country, then I kind of understand, but a lot of tourists actually came to watch Fantastic Four. And what's kind of funny is like everybody's so shocked whenever I speak English, because they're not expecting me to speak English at all, because I'm literally a cleanup crew, right? I just check the tickets and then I go into the theater and I clean. Like, it doesn't require me to speak English at all. Like, they didn't even, like, the managers don't even have any clue that I can speak English as well. So it's really fun to see like all the tourists and foreigners be like, whoa, Jesus, like whenever they realize that I can speak English quite well. And also there's this like weird thing where it's like, a lot of people are really disgusting, right? Like, a lot of people leave foods, popcorns, and you know, Cokes or anything that we sell in the theater just on the floor. Like, they don't even bother bringing it to the trash can. And I get annoyed by that, you know, because it just means extra work for me that day. But then it's like, it's kind of weird, because if everybody was completely clean and organized and everybody cleaned up after themselves, we would be completely useless to the company. Like, everybody that's doing the cleaning will be fired the next day if all the customers started cleaning up after themselves. So it's a little bit of a weird situation. It's like can I complain about that? You know, like, I get paid to clean this up. Like, it's a pretty good deal for me, and that's why I got the job. But it's like, did you really have to put a half-eaten hot dog in the cup holder on the armrest? I mean, really? Like, you really had to do that? Anyways, yeah, that's about it, you know. So if you guys like this video, you know, do something, like, comment, subscribe, and then maybe I'll make more.